Hey guys, RussLyman here, and welcome to my Halloween special. Halloween is always a great time to sit back and relax, eat some candy, watch scary movies, or play scary video games. I reached out to everyone on social media and asked them those 3 questions, or to submit a video response. Oh, hey Jason, I didn't see you walk in. How's it going? Oh, that's right, you're not much for words. Well guys, if you haven't seen my short movie 8-Bit Slasher with this guy in it, I'll leave a link down below and at this end of the video. Fantastic! Now, before we get to some video responses, let's take a quick commercial break. Russ's Halloween special will be right back after these messages.
Can you identify who it was that frightened you, ma'am?
I'll try.
This Halloween, terrifying creatures are on the loose at Taco Bell.
It's them!
Wanted Goosebumps at Taco Bell. Slappy's Candy Keeper, Cuddles the Horrible Hamster, Rapid Mummy, and Skullmobile. Get them now. Goosebumps collectibles only at Taco Bell.
We now return to Russell's Halloween special. Welcome back, guest. Now let's hear from MichaelBtheGameGenie on what one of his favorite Halloween movies to watch is.
Hey everybody, happy Halloween! I'm MichaelBtheGameGenie, and thank you very much, Russ, for asking me to take part in this video. So we're going to be talking about some of our favorite things for October. First of which is my favorite movie to watch in October during the Halloween season. And I'm a big horror movie guy, so it might surprise some of you to find out that it's actually not a horror movie. Well, horror movie-ish, like kids but adult kidsy type horror movie. That's The Monster Squad. This movie's incredible. Wolfman has nerds.
What? No way, that's my favorite movie too. Also, Drew from Pop Culture Deathmatch. Let's hear what he had to say.
Okay, so when I think of movies, the movie I most like to enjoy at Halloween, you could pick slashers and scary horror films with ghosts and demons. But for me, there's only one film that reigns supreme at Halloween. It's from the 80s, it's a childhood classic, and it's The Monster Squad. It's a film that I watched a lot as a kid. I loved it, and for me, it's the Goonies with monsters, basically. I've watched it with my 5-year-old son this year. He loved it, got a little bit scared, but not too much. It's a good Halloween movie that you can enjoy with all the family.
The movie I seem to be floating back to every October has got to be Return of the Living Dead. It's the other guy that worked with George Romero on the first Night of the Living Dead who somehow had a stake in making a sequel to it, so he called it Return of the Living Dead. George Romero, he obviously went with Dawn of the Dead. Anyways, Return of the Living Dead is so great because you have the oil zombie, you have like the zombie that's almost completely deteriorated and there's like spinal fluid coming out of it. It's so gross, but it's a really funny movie at the same time. It's the right amount of scares and just people coming together and trying to survive the zombie apocalypse.
Such a great movie, and I know a few people out there also enjoy it. Let's see what my buddy Aldo has to say from Retro Gaming Arts. I think he has an obscure movie that most of you probably haven't seen.
Hey everyone, it's Aldo from Retro Gaming Arts. Look at that. In the back, I got the shelf. Look at that. Amazing. So Russ is asking some questions about Halloween, and I figured I'd chime in and give my 2 cents about it. So he was asking, what is your favorite Halloween movie? So everyone has many favorites, myself included. You know, obviously John Carpenter's Halloween is a big favorite, but I figured maybe I'd go outside of the box and maybe think about something that is not as known. So there's a Spanish horror movie. It's called REC, kind of like Record. Check it out. It's on Hulu, I believe. So the premise, real quick, without giving too much away. So there is a news reporter, and she's just going about the motions and, you know, getting stuff about the community. And as she's filming this news broadcast, a apartment complex gets quarantined because of some unknown pathogen that's been released. And that's pretty much all I'll say about that without spoiling too much, but it's a found footage movie, so it is recorded in a camcorder style. And so if you've seen Blair Witch or anything like that, very similar to that. It's an amazing movie. It's quick, so you can watch it, and it doesn't take too much time. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's very Very visceral, very energetic, very horror-based. It's amazing. Check it out. It was released in the US as Quarantine as a remake. That one is no good. Don't check that out. And if you have, and you didn't like it, definitely check out REC. It's the superior film. It's amazing. Go check it out.
Finally, my favorite movie. Honestly, I don't really rewatch movies or TV very often, but the Alien series would be near the top of the stack. The last 2 years I've been saving Stranger Things for October. I'm currently working through season 2, and I think it's pretty good. Anyways, I appreciate the invite to participate, and happy Halloween.
Alright guys, so I wanted to have my mom on as a guest for the Halloween special. Figure we'll ask her some questions.
Hi. Okay.
Penny, can we hear your heartbeat?
Look at the paws. So big.
Alright, so on Facebook I asked you guys what your favorite movie was, and we got Carl said The Halloween Tree.
I never heard of that one.
Nor have I.
Wow.
Aldo responded, he likes John Carpenter's Halloween and the Spanish horror film Record. Joe Dunbar says, I'm not a huge on slasher films, but I love me some zombie flicks.
Oh yeah. Alright.
So
Zombies,
like,
yeah.
Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah. What was that one, Massacre?
The Chainsaw Massacre. Not zombies, but he did eat people.
I saw that once. That was scary. And also Pet Cemetery. Ooh, that thing freaked me out.
Rich replied, Fire in the Sky. It will make you crap your pants in terror. That's an alien abduction movie.
Oh my
Definitely scary. Well, back to some video responses. My buddy Josh from the channel Your Player 2 has his favorite Halloween movie, and it's...
Now, moving on to, my favorite scary movie to watch at Halloween, or my favorite Halloween movie, that's the thing, there's a couple directions you could go. One, you could go pure horror, or you could go something a little bit, more kid-friendly, but still sort of spooky, like The Nightmare Before Christmas, or Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin, for example. But I'm gonna pick something that's somewhere in between, and that would be Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods is just a phenomenal movie. It's certainly got, jump scares, and it's got tension, and it knows how to build atmosphere. But then on top of all of that, and all that, just regular horror tropes that you would see, it's super funny, like one of the funniest horror movies I've ever seen. Somewhere maybe in the vein of like Tucker and Dale versus Evil. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend that you just go into the movie completely blind, don't look up a trailer or anything, and I promise you, you will have a good time with Cabin in the Woods.
Oh man, yes! Cabin in the Woods is definitely a great movie to check out. Funny, scary, a good time for sure. I wonder what my buddy Riff has to say what his favorite Halloween movie is.
My favorite movie for Halloween time is The Ring. Now this is weird because it's not necessarily a super scary movie in my opinion, or like some sort of slasher or gore fest. This is a movie, as someone who loves film and cinematography, I love this movie because I think it is shot beautifully. I think this is the first time I saw a movie as a kid or as a younger adult. I don't remember what I was at the time, but when I saw it, it wasn't the scariness that stuck with me. It was the shots and the way it looked. And for me, I wasn't used to seeing those kind of things in horror movies. I was more used to jump scares and gore and weird effects and different things like that, which are really cool. But The Ring stuck out to me as something that looked a lot different than I was expecting in a horror movie.
Every October, when we start to near Halloween, there's only one real movie that I'm looking forward to because I'm not too into watching some of these super scary movies that are out there because I just can't handle it. But that's It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and it's a fantastic Peanuts movie. The movie revolves around a great pumpkin and how it's supposed to show up in this pumpkin patch, and a whole bunch of different things ensue in this movie. But for the most part, I just love the characters, and I grew up around a lot of the Peanuts characters because I came from where Charles Schultz used to live, so we had them all over the place. So it's something I really enjoy and look forward to every Halloween.
Aw, a classic one for sure, Discart. Thanks so much for sharing. Well guys, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Russ's Halloween special will be right back after these messages.
I was playing hide and seek in my lab one night with 27 monsters that looked alike. I thought I found Ralphie, but to my surprise, someone yelled,
"Hey, I'm and Bert. Ralphie's got googly eyes.
It's Monster Mash. Find a monster to match.
Be first to snatch.
Use your thwacker to smash.
Quick, don't be last.
To win, match 5 in a flash.
It's Monster Mash.
The game is Monster Mash.
Wow.
We now return to Russell's Halloween special. Juan responded, House of a Thousand Corpses by Rob Zombie.
Oh no, I don't know that one. That sounds good.
It's similar to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Ryan said, clearly Hocus Pocus. You never seen Hocus Pocus, Ma? That's like a fun one.
It sounds familiar. Maybe I did see it.
Yolan responded, Monster Squad. And that's definitely one of my favorites as well. Mary Elizabeth said, Nightmare Before Christmas.
That sounds good.
Made by Tim Burton. Rhodey said, don't have a favorite one, really, but anything scary. Todd Northrup said, Alien. I don't know if you remember that one. That came out in, I think, early 80s or so.
Yeah, I like that one.
Woodrow says, hands down, House on Haunted Hill. Love that movie since I was a kid.
That's a good one.
Oh, you seen that one?
I like that one.
I think they did a remake of it, but I'm sure you've seen the original. I don't know if you've seen the remake.
I think so. The house kind of is like alive and breathing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice, that's scary. What you were saying before, what movie you were talking about?
Oh, the comedy, Young Frankenstein.
Right.
That's a classic. Yeah.
I actually watched that on the plane ride to Portland last year.
Oh, wow.
And it has that scene in it, you know.
Yeah, with the bookcase.
Yep. Put the candlestick back.
Yeah.
Put the candle back.
Put the candle back.
Russ's Halloween special will be right back after these messages.
They're coming!
Marshmallows.
Frankenbed and Count Chocula. Now all the monster cereals have bigger monster-sized marshmallows. Count Chocula has enormous chocolatey marshmallows. It's a delicious part of this nutritious breakfast. New monster marshmallows are here.
The monster marshmallows are here. They're everywhere.
Whoa!
We now return to Russell's Halloween special. Now, let's talk about candy. I know we got a bunch of awesome candy here in the States, but let's hear from our boys out in Europe what candy they have to offer.
Thank you, Russ, for having me on your channel. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Drew, and I have a YouTube channel called Pop Culture Deathmatch. For me, Halloween in the UK has never been celebrated as much as the US. Lately, it's getting more celebrated in the UK. So candy obviously is a big part of Halloween, and this year we've picked up some actually quite interesting candy for Halloween. We've got these Chewits eyeballs. They're like a bag of eyes. They're quite nice. These are awesome. Chupa Chups lollies in this really awesome skull with the brain, and it's filled with the lollies. They're really cool, and that's one of the lollies there. It's like a little skull, pink skull with a green brain. They're quite fizzy. They're really awesome. And then in Europe we have a big sweet brand. Don't know if you have them in the US, called Haribo, and we've got Scare Mix. So they're basically Halloween themed little bags of sweets.
Wow, that scary brain zombie head looked great. I definitely can munch on that at a Halloween party.
Okay, Russ. Well, my favorite candy to eat whilst it's Halloween, when it's horror month, is definitely got to be Monster Munchies. Now these are some kind of chips, some crisps that have a salty taste, and they're shaped like little ghosts. So how much more spooky and Halloween can you really get? I don't know if they have it over in the Americas, but this is what it looks like over here.
Wow, that looked pretty cool, and I'd love to get my hands on some of those chips. Thanks so much, Ed.
Last but not least, what's my favorite candy for October? I'm not a huge candy guy. I understand it's spoopy season. I like Halloween for different reasons, but if there's one candy that's been my favorite pretty much my entire life, it's M&M Peanuts. Sorry to the people with nut allergies. good stuff. I mean, it's candy, it's chocolate, it's nuts. It's got that little bit of salty taste with the chocolate. What's not to love? Anyways, those are just a few of my favorite things for October. Thanks, Russ, for having me be a part of the video, and I can't wait to see what everybody else says.
My favorite October candy is without a doubt Dots. It might seem like an odd choice, but I never really see them or buy them outside of Halloween. I look forward to raiding my kids' candy basket knowing that it's a candy I love and they hate.
What's one of your favorite candies to eat in Halloween time?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Oh, the peanut butter. That's a common choice. A lot of people have been picking that.
And Hershey bars.
Oh, okay. The little fun-size ones.
Or the big ones.
Yeah. So on Facebook, I asked you guys what your favorite candy was. Let's see what the responses were. So Carl says Reese's Pumpkin, though. The one's shaped like the pumpkin.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the peanut butter cup, kinda. And also Mike Levy responded Reese's Cups, so definitely a big favorite. Joe responded Reese's because I'm freaking gross.
Was it Reese's Pieces or?
He just says Reese's, so I guess it could
Because,
be either or.
wait a minute, now for E.T., they had Reese's Pieces became popular.
Rich responded peanut or almond M&Ms or Sour Patch Kids.
You always have to, when you open a bag of M&Ms, like a small bag,
Right.
you have to count how many blue ones.
Why?
I don't know, when the blue ones only came out, like maybe when you were 10 years old.
Oh, okay.
And they're special. This, like, Amber opened the pack the other day and she had six blue ones.
6 blue
You
ones.
never get 6 blue ones. You usually get 2 or 3.
And as far as the Halloween themed candy I like, so obviously, you like your Snickers, you like your Kit Kats, and all that stuff. I'm gonna, again, go out of the box, deviled eggs. It's not a candy, right? But I'm gonna go on a technicality. Deviled eggs, there's nothing like having a plate of them, just there with the paprika and all that. So good. Always good for a social setting when you have a bunch of people over watching some scary movies or playing some games. Nothing better than having some deviled eggs together. So I hope this mini list, maybe gives you some ideas and suggestions as what to do for Halloween. And on behalf of everyone from Retro Gaming Arts, have a happy Halloween, everyone. Be safe, enjoy yourselves, stuff your face with candy, but not too much. Enjoy some horror movies, enjoy some scary games, and most of all, be safe. All right, thank you and take care.
Deviled eggs, huh, Aldo? All right, I'll let you slide on this one. Let's hear what someone else has to say.
Russ, thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. First up, my favorite candy by far is a Butterfinger. And the reason I'm a huge fan of Butterfingers is probably 1, because they're super delicious, and 2, when I was a kid, I was really, really into The Simpsons. And in particular, I was really excited for The Simpsons Treehouse of Horror every year, which was usually around the same time that I would go trick-or-treating. And if you remember, there used to be a really heavy marketing push. I don't know if that's true today, because I don't have cable TV, but they used to constantly run commercials with Bart Simpson, basically promoting Butterfinger, and I'm sure that had something to do with it. But it's a really tasty candy in its own right, not particularly flashy or special, but a solid standby for me and one of my favorite candies of all time.
Oh my god, yes, Joss. I totally remember watching the Simpsons Halloween special and all the Butterfingers he would eat. Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I'm a sucker for soft milk chocolate, and I'm also a sucker for peanut butter, and this basically just infuses them both together, and it is like the perfect candy to bite into, especially if you don't want to bite into anything hard.
When it comes to my favorite candy on Halloween, it's always going to revolve around peanut butter. Any peanut butter flavored candy, I absolutely love it. And really the cornerstone of peanut butter candies is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And I will take that over any other candy out there. It is a beautiful piece of peanut butter covered in chocolate. And when you break that thing open, you are having an excellent time. So that's definitely my favorite candy.
Wow, Discar and Riff both love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. What the heck happened to the size of these things? They shrunk over the years. Ah well, I'll still eat them. Kevin said Reese's Ghost. That's right, they make the pumpkins and I guess the ghost-shaped ones around this time.
Oh, right. And
Ryan responded, those caramel apple lollipops that come in a white bag. I think Tootsie makes them.
Oh, I don't know that one. Caramel? No.
Yeah, they're like green, and you can see the caramel inside of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the lollipop?
Yeah. Mary Elizabeth responds, Kit Kats and Reese's. Give me a break. Woodrow says, candy corn. That's a first.
Wow, yeah, those are, you can have those there.
Yeah, they've been sitting in there. They're more of a decoration for me.
Yeah, they're sweet.
Johnny Mono responded, beef jerky. Hashtag
wow.
That keto life.
Beef jerky?
I guess I wouldn't really think beef jerky for Halloween, but...
No, I would if it was a cowboy.
That's right, you can dress as a cowboy, eat it at the party. For being on the Halloween special, I'll let you get back to watching some ghost stories upstairs.
Yes. Ghost Adventures.
Ghost Adventures. Go get them.
Okay.
It's always great to kick back and play a scary video game on Halloween. Let's hear what my buddy Rich has to say of one of his favorite games to play at the holiday season.
Hey Russ. Just a DV here from kame1.wordpress.com. And he asked a few Halloween questions. Well, this is Forbidden Forest on the Commodore 64. This is one of my favorite horror games of all time because despite what would seem now as rudimentary graphics, it actually does do a lot of really cool things. Parallax scrolling, some really, really tough bosses. Just a lot of fun. You fight skeletons, giant frogs, spiders, an evil dragon, a phantom, giant python. It's awesome. So yeah, this is my Halloween game right here. From back in the day when games came on cassette tapes.
Forbidden Forest on the Commodore 64. Wow, I never seen that one, Rich. And on cassette too. Totally retro.
Next up is my favorite game to play during October, and if you're subscribed to my channel, I just did a review on this game and I said this is my favorite game to play for the Halloween season, so this shouldn't be a surprise to you. But if you aren't subscribed to my channel, which you I got a feeling you will be after this, you'll find out that my favorite game to play during October, the Halloween season, is Super Castlevania 4. It's a masterpiece.
Super Castlevania, yes! I totally love this game, Michael. I have it on the Wii Virtual Console because I couldn't purchase one yet because the price have gone up so much.
Now, as far as horror-themed games, so yeah, everyone likes Resident Evil, everyone likes Silent Hill, Dead Space, Fear. Again, I'm going to kind of think outside the box. What I would recommend and what I like to play during this time of year, there is a game called Condemned Criminal Origins. Came out on Xbox 360, came out on PC, I believe on PS3 as well. It was developed by Monolith, the guys who made Fear, published by Sega. So it's a first-person horror game with the emphasis on melee combat. So what happens is you're actually pulling items from the environment, like rebar, 2x4s, lead pipes, paper cutters, and you're using them to hit a bunch of people who've been brainwashed or just acting really homicidal for no reason whatsoever. So really, really cool game. Has a lot of legit scares. It's really awesome. Check it out. And it's different. You know, it's not an FPS with guns. There are guns, but you rarely use them. It's all about the melee combat. It's very visceral, very in your face. Really spooky game. Check it out. Really awesome. You'll love it.
Wow, sounds like a pretty gruesome game, Aldo. Definitely check it out, guys, if that's something you're into.
Gaming-wise, my pick for October, I just keep going back to the same ones. There's a lot of crap horror titles out there, but I'm kind of an 8-bit and a 16-bit guy, so I stick to my Castlevania games, and this October I'm playing the first Castlevania ever. I haven't beaten it yet, so I'm gonna take Simon Belmont and I'm gonna bring him to the end of the game this year. So yeah, those are my picks for this October. Thanks for having me on the channel, Russ, and I'll see you soon, buddy.
Yes, Ed. Hang in there, and I bet you could beat Castlevania. I live streamed it a few years ago, and it took me a few hours on Dracula, but I accomplished it.
And when we talk about video games, a video game again that I enjoy most during Halloween has to be from the Sega Mega Drive, and it is Splatterhouse 2. It's definitely my favourite game to play during Halloween. I love it. It's not the scariest game in the world, but from the sort of retro 8 and 16-bit era, I think it's probably one of the best scary Halloween-themed type games. Obviously, you've got Rick, who looks like Jason Voorhees. There's some really gross monsters in it, and I just really enjoy this game. Okay, thanks so much for having me on your channel. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see some of you guys over on my channel. See you later.
Yes, classic Splatterhouse. This one's an awesome beat 'em up with lots of gore and fun.
Horror game goes, I would have to say, the game that I tend to play, around Halloween is almost always going to be Silent Hill 2, which, remains my favorite horror game of all time, and that's for a variety of reasons. As a horror game, it explored themes that you really hadn't seen before in video games from a narrative perspective. It had incredible atmosphere, which I really appreciated. The soundtrack is phenomenal, and if you stuck with it all the way to the end, it has a pretty grisly conclusion depending on the choices that you make. So Silent Hill 2, if you've never played a Silent Hill game before, I would highly recommend that you check it out. Even though the controls haven't aged particularly well, it's still pretty good if you want a spooky experience to kind of explore this Halloween. So those are my three choices: Butterfinger, Cabin in the Woods, and Silent Hill 2. So I will go ahead and kick it back to you. Alright, thanks.
Josh, I still haven't been able to beat Silent Hill 2. I got stuck and couldn't get any farther, but I did pick up the collection on PS3, so I'll give it another go.
How's it going, everyone? Batman here. And we're going to take a look at all the Facebook people of what video game they like to play. I wonder if anyone likes to play my game. Carl says either Silent Hill 2 or Fatal Frame. Mike Levy's response is Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. Juan says Shadows of the Damned. Ryan Alexander says Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Ton Northrop says Doom or Headtrek series. Antoinette says Barbie Horse Adventure. Ryan Dar says Super Ghouls and Ghost. Daniel O'Day says NBA 2K19. Jeffrey says Double Dragon 2. Definitely a fun beat 'em up game, almost like mine. Brendan says Musical Chairs. Yeah, I guess that's a good party game. Well, I gotta get back to the Batcave. I'll see you kids later. Enjoy this commercial break.
Russ's Halloween special will be right back after these messages.
Toys R Us has the Big Bird Halloween costume and the Yoda Halloween costume for trick-or-treating.
We now return to Russell's Halloween special.
Hey Russ, October is always a special time of the year, and like many, I've developed some traditions that coincide with Halloween. I grew up in a very small one-street town in Oregon that is very reminiscent to the Friday the 13th movies based around Crystal Lake. I got a job at a local video store as a teen and was quickly managing it within the year. I was still in high school at the time, so hanging at my parents' house to play games late at night was a no-go. The workaround was bringing my 27-inch JVC TV and shiny purple GameCube to work, then setting up tables and chairs in the dark parking lot after hours as myself and a group of 4 or 5 friends played through a number of games. The greatest of all these experiences was probably Smash, as we cycled in random bystanders who stopped by to watch the intense competition. But second to that was Eternal Darkness. The game did crazy stuff that was guaranteed to mess with players' heads, and no one was safe. I originally played by myself at home, but playing in the parking lot at midnight would draw a massive crowd who stood intrigued with this masterpiece. It was a true testament to something unique and emotionally evoking in the psychological horror genre that's yet to be eclipsed in any fashion. In fact, there's only one game that even comes close, and that's Pony Island. On top of all that, Eternal Darkness is one of the best overall games on the GameCube, standing as an independent reason to own the system. It's a genre-defining experience and one of my favorites to play in October.
Lastly, my favorite game, my favorite video game for Halloween time, it used to be Sweet Home, before that was Silent Hill, but now it's Until Dawn on the PlayStation 4. I love Until Dawn because you can kind of replay it each Halloween and get a different outcome. Also, the game is really impressive visually. The graphics in that game, I'm not a big graphic guy where I think, oh, if it's better graphics, it's a better game. But in this game, some of the animations and the way the characters move and their faces, I think it's really important to have facial expressions done right, especially in a horror game or a survival horror game, because as you know, in the horror world or when you're scared, your face probably does a lot of different movements and different interactions with what you're seeing. So I think it was really good, and it played out in a way that made the game seem that much more interesting to me. Alright, that's it for me, Riff at Pixel Game Squad. See you guys. Bye, Russ. Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ was nice. I met Russ. He was nice, and he had nice facial hair too.
Oh my god, yes, Riff! Until Dawn is a great game. This is the whole reason why I bought a PS4 back in the day. I played this game and fell in love. I love the storytelling in it and the different directions you can go and the choices you can make. Such a good one.
One game that I definitely like to play for Halloween is House of the Dead Overkill on the Wii. And it is a great on-rails shooter where you're shooting zombies as they come at you, and you're getting pickups by shooting at the pickup and healing yourself and getting other items and weapons and unlocking those. But really throughout this, it's kind of a comedy mixed with a horror game, and I kind of like that mix. I'm not too into the really scary games out there. I just can't handle it. So House of the Dead Overkill is that perfect mix, and it makes for a fantastic couch co-op game. I played it on many occasions with my wife, and we've had a fantastic time killing zombies together. I would definitely recommend taking a look into this game. If you ever see it out there for the Wii, pop it in there and have a good time blasting zombies. It's pretty simple, it's not too stressful, it's just a good game.
I'm right there with you, Discart. I got my gun ready for some awesome rail shooting. That's a great choice. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this fun little Halloween special, and thank you everyone for submitting videos or leaving comments and getting involved. It was something easy we could all take a part of and have fun with. Make sure you have a safe and happy Halloween out there. Eat lots of candy, watch TV, whatever you want to do just to relax and have a good time. As always gamers, I'm RussLyman, and I'll see you next video. And I want to give a spooky shout out to all my Patreon supporters: Joey Ellis, George Sandoval, Joe Sheevy, David Apuzzo, Maynard, Dr. Pest, Nintendo, Brian Culpepper, WizTechX, and everyone else on my Patreon page. Thanks so much for your constant support. There's a link in the description down below. And I'll see you guys later.